Have no fear, the Dougster's here. Welcome to another episode of Dougster's Wolverine Garage, where today it's a beautiful June day and I need to get my motorcycle up and going, and she's broke. Yeah, that's why I haven't showed her to you, but you're gonna see her now and I'm gonna fix it. 97 Honda Valkryie. Love this bike, my daily driver bike, and 95 horsepower, 1500 cc. Opposed 6, single overhead cams, 6 carburetors, liquid cooled, of course, and this thing is an animal. It will eat stock Harleys. It is just all torque. I love this bike. I love this bike. I literally am going to ride this bike forever. I want to keep this bike forever. As long as I'm riding, it's going to be this bike. When I'm an old codger, I'm going to put the trike on the back of it and still ride it. So yes, I'm going to have this, and I'll put gold wing reverse on it so I can back it up. And yes, it can be done. So yeah, so what we got to do is I got to get down in there. See where the braided line comes down by the oil filter? Well, that's my water pump. I had a bad water pump. I changed the water pump and got it all apart. Went to put it back together and I assembled something wrong and cross-threaded a long bolt in the bottom. And I got it jammed in there, and this is aluminum, so you know how you have to be careful. I got it jammed in there not on purpose, and I tried to back it off and I broke the bolt off. My friend Eddie, thank God, come over and he dug the bolt out. So we reused the gasket, I RTV'd everything real good, put her all back together, and what had happened is I got greedy. I put her together, I got excited, and I didn't let it dry 24 hours without any oil in it. So I got greedy. I slammed oil in it, and I buttoned that bike up, and I went for a ride, baby. And I felt victorious until I pulled into the station to top off with fuel, and I had an oil puddle right there. It was leaking right at that spot that we had repaired. So yeah, so what I got to do is I got to drain the coolant. I got to drain what's left of the oil. I got to take the oil filter off. I got a bunch of stuff to do. I got to get in and take the front cover of this engine off and replace the gasket. I'll show you the gasket here in a minute. More soon. All right, and that's the gasket. Genuine Honda. Oh yeah, nothing but the best. Genuine Honda. And so yep, just gotta change this gasket. Wish it was just that easy. So yeah, gonna start draining the coolant and stuff and getting ready to do all this. It's gonna be fun. Not. All right, more soon. Well, you can hardly tell on camera. Well, a little bit. The coolant is blue. Yeah, I bought that from the Honda dealer. It's pre-mixed, and it's windshield washer solvent blue, and it was $30 a quart. So yeah, but so you bet your ass I'm saving that. Put it and pack it off in something. Shit was expensive, man. Ha. All right, more soon. We're gonna start tearing into her. It's been sprinkling on and off this afternoon. So I took the new cooling tower and laid it down on the floor, and well, it may be miserable work, but at least it's not hot miserable work. That's minty. All right, keeping moving on. So I thought that I'd get you guys a bird's eye view of what I'm dealing with. There's the gasket, and it was leaking, we figure, from here. And that's where we broke the bolt, and Eddie, big shout out to my friend Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie come and he pulled that bolt out. It took him all day too, but he got it. So put RTV on it, and yeah, you know the story. So I got to clean this surface the best I can, and get all this gasket off, and then clean both surfaces. I gotta figure out if I can unplug that sensor, and I think it's above the radiator. But yeah, gonna be cleaning that out, cleaning that up, and getting ready to put the all new gasket back on. So more soon. We are finally in. All bolts are off, crossover tubes moved out of the way. I do have like an oil pressure switch or something that I can't unhook, so I'm probably gonna have to clean it and prep it right there. But yeah, it's there. Down there in the lower right corner is where we broke a bolt off when I was trying to change the water pump originally. My friend Eddie come in and we had to get this plate off to get that bolt extracted, and then as you know the rest of the story. So we're gonna get this cleaned up and we're gonna get that gasket put on it and get her all ready. We're gonna ship it. More soon. Okay, got the water pump out. I've got the oil filter off. I've got 90% of the bolts, that's here in this piece of cardboard. That's how it's oriented. I got 90% of the bolts out. I gotta take the coolant crossover tube out, which is that black thing that goes across. And I gotta rotate the pipes that those mount on. I gotta rotate them out of the way. And then I can take the rest of the bolts out and remove that cover. So we're getting there. More soon. Also, the water pump will be coming off when I remove that, all that also. So, all right, now more soon. We now have the engine bar off on the, what would be the right side of the bike, seated on the machine. And got the fasteners put right back in where I found them. And then now it's on to, I gotta take the balance tube out, that's rubber, take it from the top of the water pump. I have to disconnect the lower radiator hose. I have to drain what's left of the oil that's in it, take the oil filter off. And then I've got to take the coolant tubes that go into the block and rotate them. I don't have to take them out, I just have to rotate the ear out of the way. And then I take the bolts out and I take the whole front engine cover off, which you'll see here in a little bit. Yay! More soon. And there we are with the bar back on. I dumped all the coolant I drained out of it back into it, and I lost a little coolant and had to do some searching. It was in the saddlebag of my bike, but there's the blue coolant, and this stuff is blue, like washer solvent blue. So I'm gonna top up the radiator a little more. I still have to, even after I run it, but she'll be full to the top before we run. And I know I'm going to be burping out a bunch of stuff when I run, but that won't be for a couple days. So, more soon. And there we are, back together again. All buttoned up. I have to put the engine bar back on, which I will get down and do here in a minute. I had it sitting across the way. I was smart enough and brought everything else over, but not that. Oh well. So yeah, I gotta put the engine bar back on, and then I'm gonna let it sit for tonight, and then tomorrow I'll buy oil for it, and maybe on Tuesday we're gonna juice it up. And then, oh, I gotta put coolant in it too. That'll be after I put the bar back on. I'm gonna put coolant back in the radiator, make sure we don't have any leaks, and then wait a few days and put some oil in it. But we're that close to test ride, so that's kind of Encouraging, isn't it? More soon. And the cover is back on. Now I've got the bolts just tight, just snug, and I'm going to let that RTV, I just painted the gasket with RTV, but I'm going to let that sit just snug for a while, let everything work its magic. Then I'm going to go through and torque it, and definitely I'm not putting oil in this thing until Monday or Tuesday. So I'm gonna take a break and then let this tack up a little bit, tighten up bolts, and begin reassembly. I could be riding next week. Sweet. More soon. All right, it's the next day afternoon, and I got everything, all mating surfaces wiped down with acetone. Everything's nice and clean. Made sure no little paper towel bits wound up inside my engine. I picked up some RTV, and I think for peace of mind, I think I'm just going to completely cover I shouldn't have to use anything. If it's an unmolested Honda surface, I should be able to just use a gasket with no stuff. But just as an extra layer, the only RTV I'm going to put is just enough to paint that gasket with it. And then we'll put her together. So reassembly begins. More soon. Laid a piece of cardboard underneath it last night before I went in. And no drips. She sat full of coolant. I probably need to burp that a little bit more. But no drips so far. So that's an encouraging sign. So right, tomorrow we oil her up. And we start her up. So looking forward to that. More soon. All right, happy Monday evening. So got the oil. 1540 Rotella. I like Rotella. You should run a motorcycle oil. Sometimes if you got to, buy it where it says motorcycle oil on it. Or do this. Look for the approval rating. JASO. Come on. Focus. JASO MA2 JASO MA/MA2. So the MA2s come later, but the JASO MA is motorcycle approved. It's safe for your motorcycle. And so yeah, it's cheap and it's good, and my Hondas love it. All right, so we're going to wait till tomorrow to put the oil in it, but here she is. If everything goes right, we might be going for a ride. How cool is that? All right, more soon. Bye, everyone. Cheers. And we made it home, and now it's time for a celebratory beer. Cheers, everyone. Almost 50 miles put down on my ride, and runs great, no leaks, good power. She's running a lot better. I topped her off with fresh fuel. She still had to burn through some of the old gas, and you can tell, but she's gotten a sip of fresh fuel now, and I'm very pleased. So yeah, riding season has begun. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this run, this series. on getting my Valkryie back up and going. I love this bike. So, check out more content right here on Wolverine Garage. And back from our little walk, and dry as a bone. That's what Daddy likes. More soon. And we went for a ride. Here she is. No leaks. Now that's what I like to see. That's what Daddy likes. But I brought you to downtown Allegan, which happens to be my county seat. And thought I'd show you something cool. Pardon the construction mess. This is a park. Or it will be a park, I think. But got a great view of the river and the Iron Bridge. This was built in like the 1888 or 1886 or, oh, there's the year 1889. It's up top. Yeah, this thing is cool. It used to be traffic lights and two-way traffic, but now they've made it one way. So where you only come into town. I almost stumbled. Okay, there's the brick building, I believe is the Regent Theater, and our county seat courthouse is not far away. This is the Kalamazoo River, I believe. I was thinking, where am I going to take you guys? I got to go for a ride. Where am I going to take you? And I said, I know. The old bridge in Allegan. Yeah, man. It's been a minute since I've been out here. That's M40 over there. So, yeah. Fun fact, this is a pharmaceuticals company. I used to work there. I used to work in the basement of that old building. That was cool. That building is cool. It's old. So yeah, stretch my legs a minute and I'm on this boardwalk and you can see it. It still continues on the other side of the fountains all the way over there. So if I wanted to, like, there's a lot of downtown businesses, there's breweries and all sorts of nice restaurants and stuff. Yeah, thought you'd enjoy this. Our fairgrounds are a hop, skip, and a jump just straight ahead of us. So yeah, downtown Allegan, Michigan. Hope you like it. We're gonna jump back on the Valkryie and ride, baby. More soon. I sure hope that this microphone can fully pick up the sound that she makes when she idles. I love the way that she just burbles. Yeah, man, I do love this bike. Can't wait to go for a ride. More soon. And we are running. No leaks. I'm gonna try to let her come under heat. Oh, she's hot. At least the radiator's hot. 6 cylinders. Ladies and gentlemen, I love this bike. So we're gonna, I got the air compressor pumping, and I'm gonna come out. I gotta check my tires because I haven't touched this thing in well over a year, almost 2. So I haven't rode this since like October of 22. So that's how long she sat laid up. So gonna check my tire air pressures, and we're going for a ride, baby. Gonna go right into the station, top off with some fresh fuel, and then we're gonna go on a ride. I'm excited. More soon.